Episode number 4. They still had not arrived at the top, however, when the painter up above them suddenly pulled the door wide open and, with a deep bow, invited Kay to enter. The girls, on the other hand, he tried to keep away. He did not want to let any of them in, however much they begged him and however much they tried to get in. If they could not get in with his permission, they would try to force their way in against his will. The only one to succeed was the hunchback when she slipped through under his outstretched arm, but the painter chased after her, grabbed her by the skirt, spun her once round and set her down again by the door with the other girls who, unlike the first, had not dared to cross the doorstep, while the painter had left his post. Kay did not know what he was to make of all this, as they all seemed to having fun. One behind the other, the girls by the door stretched their necks up high and called out various words to the painter, which were meant in jest, but which Kay did not understand, and even the painter laughed as the hunchback whirled round in his hand. Then he shut the door, bowed once more to Kay, offered him his hand, and introduced himself, saying, "Tito, painter." Kay pointed to the door, behind which the girls were whispering, and said, "You seem to be very popular in this building." "Ach, those brats," said the painter, trying in vain to fasten his nightshirt at the neck. He was also barefooted and, apart from that, was wearing nothing more than a loose pair of yellowish linen trousers held up with a belt, whose free end whipped to and fro. "Those kids are a real burden for me," he continued. The top button of his nightshirt came off, and he gave up trying to fasten it, fetched a chair for Kay and made him sit down on it. "I painted one of them, once. She's not here today, and ever since then they've been following me about. If I'm here they only come in when I allow it, but as soon as I've gone out there's always at least one of them in here. They had a key made to my door, and lend it round to each other. It's hard to imagine what a pain that is. Suppose I come back home with a light I'm going to paint, I open the door with my own key, and find the hunchback there, or something, by the table painting her lips red with my paintbrush, and meanwhile her little sisters will be keeping guard for her, moving about and causing chaos in every corner of the room. Or else, like happened yesterday, I might come back home late in the evening, please forgive my appearance, and the room being in a mess, it is to do with them, so, I might come home late in the evening, and want to go to bed, then I feel something pinching my leg, look under the bed, and pull another of them out from under it. I don't know why it is they bother me like this. I expect you've just seen that I do nothing to encourage them to come near me. And they make it hard for me to do my work too, of course. If I didn't get this studio for nothing I'd have moved out a long time ago." Just then, a little voice, tender and anxious, called out from under the door, "Tito, can we come in now?" "No," answered the painter. "Not even just me, by myself?" the voice asked again. "Not even just you," said the painter, as he went to the door, and locked it. Meanwhile, Kay had been looking round the room. If it had not been pointed out it would never have occurred to him that this wretched little room could be called a studio. It was hardly long enough, or broad enough to make 2 steps. Everything, floor, walls and ceiling, was made of wood. Between the planks narrow gaps could be seen. Across from where Kay was, the bed stood against the wall under a covering of many different colors. In the middle of the room a picture stood on an easel, covered over with a shirt, whose arms dangled down to the ground. Behind Kay was the window through which the fog made it impossible to see further than the snow-covered roof of the neighboring building.